Good morning. I am meteorologist Logan Poole with the National Weather Service in Jackson. This is your weather briefing for the Arklamis region, Monday, August 16th, 2021. Early this week, scattered to isolated showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoons, highs in the lower 90s. Tropical storm Fred moving inland east of the area, and that could cause some of our rain chance to be diminished a little bit today as some of that drier air gets pulled in behind that storm. But in general, going to be looking at just isolated showers, a typical summer pattern, and not a whole lot going on unusual for this time of the year. By late week, temperatures are going to remain warm. We have Grace, which is another tropical cyclone that's currently south of Hispaniola, likely to become a tropical storm again. But there's a really good chance it's going to stay to our south as a subtropical ridge kind of builds in place and we become dominated by high pressure. Scattered showers still possible, but in general, Grace most likely to stay south of us. But of course, we're going to watch it as that is a little bit of a longer-term forecast. As we head into the weekend and into next week, temperatures are going to rise in the middle 90s, and we could start to see some of those heat stress concerns. Right now, we don't have any expectation that it's going to be a prolonged heat wave or exceptionally high temperatures, but we'll watch that as heat indices could get up over 100 at times for our area during that time period. 7-day rainfall totals fairly low, but do keep in mind that we could have a few isolated cases of flash flooding with higher rainfall rates and rainfall totals 2 to 4 inches in short order as those storms will move really slowly where you do have them. But most places not going to have that issue. The tropics remain active today. You see Tropical Storm Fred there in the northern Gulf, Grace and just south of the island of Hispaniola in the Caribbean Sea, as well as Tropical Depression 8 just east of Bermuda in the western and central Atlantic. Fred is going to be moving north and east away from us, so not really local impacts from that. We'll get that out of the way here fairly quickly. We're grateful for that. That's going to be the case, staying well away from us. But Grace will be something to watch, and any storm in that position moving west towards us bears watching. Right now, it looks like a good chance it's going to stay south of us, but we're going to keep an eye on it. Latest information on Fred is that it is roughly south of Cape San Blas, just a little bit to the west, moving mostly north and may begin to move east a little bit. Again, tropical storm warnings are up in place along the Florida Gulf Coast. And there's a graphic kind of represents that. You see where the impacts are primarily going to be. And just a couple of satellite images, you see that, it's a little bit, you can see it dry, less clouds to the south and west of that comma shape. This is pretty classic for satellite imagery, infrared imagery, for a storm that's being sheared a bit from the southwest. So not really expecting any dramatic strengthening, only a couple of hours left before that storm moves on shore. It could intensify a little bit more. Maybe it could be a strong tropical storm by the time it makes landfall, or maybe even approaching that hurricane intensity, but right now that's not the forecast, and it's kind of running out of time. Either way, impacts are going to be fairly similar. You're going to have a localized area of pretty heavy rain and some gusty winds along that track. So if you're in that area, keep an eye out. But again, you see to the west, fairly dry here, and we're expecting that to not be a problem for the Arklamis today. And there's the current visible satellite imagery, and that kind of shows even better how we're drier over here, not as many of those bright clouds. Grace looking fairly disorganized. This is the island of Hispaniola, Haiti, and Dominican Republic there. Looks like the center of the storm may miss most of the island, but still struggling with some land interaction. And it should intensify a little bit as time goes on, but where exactly it goes remains to be seen. It looks like it's a good chance it may stay south of us, but we're of course going to keep a close eye on that. And there's the latest from the Hurricane Center as of this morning. You can see the track expected to stay to the south. So typical August weather expected, warm to hot, humid, afternoon showers and storms. A few storms could be briefly strong and rainfall rates could be high. Slow storm motions will mean isolated flash flooding. And Fred making landfall today with Grace bearing watching into the late week, but it most likely stays south of us. Again, thanks for viewing. We really appreciate it. Any feedback you have, you can always call us, message us, text us, whatever your preferred method of communication is. And again, I've been meteorologist Logan Poole with the National Weather Service Jackson, and it's my pleasure to have given you today's weather briefing. So have a great week, and hopefully don't get too hot, and maybe stay dry out there when we do have those showers. Have a great week.